Hello, hello. It's Gerald Salenti, and what's today? Thursday, January 21st, 2021. 21, 21, 21. Yeah, or 21, 20, 21. Yep. Day after inauguration. And here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market fronts over here in the USSA, United Soviet States of America, it was down a little bit. Futures are down a little bit. Gold's up a little bit. Earl's flat. And Bitcoin, boop, bam, bop, down a lot. And we said it would. We read Tuesday's Trends Journal. We warned it, and we gave the breakout point where it's going to go. And there's your Trends Journal, boy. Yep. Big tech in control. No freedom of speech. 112 pages. This Trends Journal that went out on Tuesday. No advertisements. Information you won't find anywhere else. Think for yourself is our motto, the magazine. We only put facts in there. Then we give our trend forecast and analysis. Tells you what's going to happen, what's next, and what you might want to do. So on the market front, it hit a high because Yellen's screaming for stimulus lifts stocks. That was on Tuesday, Inauguration Day in the USSA. Were there about 30,000 troops down there in the free country of America? And remember I said there would be no riots, just like I said there wouldn't be any on election eve in America. And when they were boarding up everything everywhere, they closed down Washington, D.C., the free, look at what's going on. This is total takeover. Terrorism. That's right, domestic terrorism. We got to watch out for it. Got everybody freaked out. Rights are gone. Again, love Trump, hate Trump, that big tech could censor the president of the United States. Whew, it's going bad. The S&P 500 is up nearly 13% since November 3rd. That is before yesterday, or before today. Putting on index would track the best performance from election day to inauguration day. Now, this is from the Wall Street Journal. Since Herbert Hoover's election victory in 1928. Now, I note that because I'm calling, as you well know, I've said it before this, just about 2 days, I think yesterday or Tuesday actually. I said that Joe Biden's going to be the Herbert Hoover, the next one, because the Biden bounce is going to be quick and flattened down. And it's not only him. I mean, the whole world is being shut down. We're into the greatest depression. It's artificially being propped up. And that's why gold prices and silver, you see my forecast where they're going. And I think they're going to continue to go. Bitcoin, we have the breakout point. If it goes below the number we have in the Trends Journal, poof, going to go down again. But the future is still there for cryptocurrencies. Remember, I said it, I think it was in last week's Trends in the News or when we announced the Trends Journal, that when Christine Lagarde, the head of the European Central Bank, last week, former head of the IMF, the International Mafia, I got to be proper here, Monetary Fund, came out against Bitcoin big time. When that happened, bada boom, bam, down. This is after the first time it went down. And that's really pushing it down on the down track because the central banksters are going to go digital and they don't want any competition. Bears bets against the greenback at 3-year high. You got it. We said it. And that's why they're going to keep dumping more cheap money in. And that's why gold and silver and precious metals prices are going to go up unless the slimy little low-life pieces of garbage crap, the scum of the earth, the banksters like the J.P. Morgan Chase gang, who was caught rigging the precious metals market and several months ago had to pay $900 million for doing it, unless they rig it again. And of course, they're going to rig everything they can because the game is rigged. We got the banksters, the criminals in charge on both ends. The murderer ends of the wars, and the bankster ends with the money. Low rates lift Asia issuance of dollar debt to cover takeovers. All right. We said this, they're going to put more money in the emerging markets as the dollar goes down. The bubble is going to get bigger. When the whole thing bursts, it'll be the worst of the Great Depression. Europe's banks threatened by mountain of small loans. Regulators fear a new wave of defaults could send banks scrambling to cover losses. Weaker ones could require state help, blah, 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 blah. The European Central Bank has warned that bad loans in the Eurozone could soar as high as $1.4 trillion, more than during the aftermath of the Panic of '08. All right? Oh, and that euro is still up there, right? Sure. You know what that is.
That is bullshit.
Yep, that's the banksters. Toronto, more than 220,000 Canadian businesses could close permanently. Who cares? The slimy little low-life politicians that suck everything out of you. They get their money no matter what. They could care less about you. Oh, we got Fat Mouth Cuomo, the arrogant little boy, the daddy's boy born on third base, thought he had a home run. Talking about the nipple rings there, Cuomo. About how they're going to raise taxes on the richer people. They're going to raise taxes on everybody. Canada. They're over 70% of the debts are from elder care homes. We put all the numbers in the magazine. Your average ages around the world are the most percentages are people over 70. But yet these crazy people are locking down everything. Oh, viruses blow to business travel to linger. Oh, no kidding. Can't believe it. Wall Street Journal. What are they saying here? Job losses have been severe. About 1 million travel-related jobs have been lost since February, according to the Labor Department, including more than 600,000 hotel positions and 120,000 air. All right, it goes on and on. We have sick, demented people destroying our lives. As I said, this is bigger than a great reset. It's bigger than the bankster deals. To me, it's either alien, satanic, or something that is beyond the imagination, because this is unreal. Just want to mention this. Commercial real estate in European Union gets central bank boost. Europe's downtown office buildings are empty and malls and streets are deserted, yet the biggest landlords are staying afloat during the pandemic thanks to robust central bank buying of bonds. All right? The central banksters buying bonds from the greedy, rich real estate moguls, while everybody else goes down the toilet. You got it, everybody? The bigs are going to get bigger. The rest of us little people of Slavelandia will work harder, and they will steal everything they can from us, not only our money. They've already robbed the joy and beauty out of life. It's a freak show. Oh, talking about freak shows, I got censored on LinkedIn. You know why? Because I posted this thing up there about Lola, L-O-L, Lola, about how they're bragging about this guy because he's a girl, I'm sorry. You know, you get him cut out, whatever, that first transgender. And I wrote that, whoopee, you know, thanks, Biden, for your, you know, our new health secretary. Or I should say unhealthy secretary, you know, has more chins He has more chins than Chinatown. Get it? Chins in Chinatown. I got censored for that. Oh, what's the cover of the Trends Journal? Ah, yes. Can you imagine getting censored for calling him an unhealthy secretary and more chins than Chinatown? I say probably more chins than a Chinese phone book. Peer review study shows COVID lockdowns have no benefit. Oh, don't worry about that. That's only from Stanford Research. Northern Islands, COVID restrictions extended till March 5th, and now they're talking they're even going to continue them to Easter in April. So I look it up, right? Let's see. 1,600 deaths out of 1,885,000,000 people. It's almost 2 million people, 1,600 deaths, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. And you're locking down the place? And what's the average age? What's the average age? All you imbeciles that are destroying life? Oh, 81 years old. It wasn't going to die anyways. German states want to take tougher action against those who repeatedly more mandatory measures. And anyone, blah, 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 tested coronavirus is subject to quarantine. So, right. In addition to high fines, in extreme cases, some states are planning on forced admission to special centers. All aboard! Next train to Auschwitz. You didn't obey us. For those who don't comply to current regulations, there's already been done a lot. The judicial orders, fines for breaking quarantine orders, you ready? Could stretch up to 25,000 euros. These segregation places will be permanently controlled by a guard service. This is quoting a spokesman for the social ministry. Segregation places. Why, that's racist. In Saxony, a shelter is currently being built for such purposes. Shelter, lockdown, Germany, Heil Merkel! Oh, they did away with the law to give Parliament, they gave the Merkel the same law that they gave Hitler in 1933 to give it complete control. Cheap antiparasitic could cut chance of COVID-19 deaths by up to 75%. Oh, cheap one? A cheap off-patient antiparasitic drug has been shown to have significant effect in reducing mortality in patients. Oh, what left-wing places? What crazy? Oh, Financial Times. Wow. University of Liverpool, 18 studies, 75% subset in patients with moderate. In 6 of these trials, the risk of death was reduced by 75%. And it goes on to say that this thing cost about, it's a generic drug used all over the world. It costs 12 cents to make the drug substance. The drug cost is $3 in India, $960 in the United States. Dr. Hill told the Financial Times. The drug is, where is it here? Ivermectin, Ivermectin, ivermectin. And you know who told me about this before this? Gary Null. That's right. I host a show on Progressive Radio Network. Gary Null is way ahead of anybody, most anybody that I know, ahead of everybody I know in health and nutrition. He didn't write the book on it. He wrote the books on it. You look him up, Gary Null. He's way ahead of this. But again, you look at this thing, a thing that costs $3 in India and $9.60 in the United States. Again, this is from the Financial Times. It shows you what gangsters are destroying life in America. Got it? Got it? The drug lords are in charge. No, they're not the Bloods and the Crips of this one and that one. It's in front of everybody's eyes. Grow up if you can't see it. Germany extends coronavirus lockdown until February 14th and probably longer. Switzerland to hold a referendum on COVID-19 lockdown, letting the people decide. How dare they? And what else do we have? Oh, and about the presidential reality show with Biden getting sworn in. Tight security pandemic. Quite tight security, pandemic make for subdued ceremony. And they go on to tell how, nobody was there. And they write, but I want to write this from the Wall Street Journal. Former presidents, top lawyers, and other dignitaries wore masks and sat socially distanced. What dignitaries? Scum. Low life. Excuse me. Top lawmakers. What lawmakers? Wankers. Disgusting. Hey, we got enough laws. We don't need any more laws. We don't need any more laws. Hey, how about freedom? F you, no freedom. It's America. Mr. Biden gave his inaugural address while looking out at a national mall, crowded not with cheering throngs, but with flags memorializing the 400 Americans who have died. Hey, Biden, why didn't you look at the millions of people that you voted for to get slaughtered in Iraq? How about Libya? What about Syria? How about mourning them? Oh, I forgot about Afghanistan. Oh, the first Iraq War. Oh, and all Biden's cabinets, everybody grow up. All the people he's bringing in the cabinets, it's Obama 2021. So expect what you had before and worse. It's going to ramp up vaccinations, testing, and masking. Big mask guy. Little story from Politico. The Biden Institute at the University of Delaware has refused to disclose all its donors now that Joe Biden is president. Goes on to say, meanwhile, Biden's pick for Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, I wrote a lot about this guy, and he was with Obama, is facing calls to explain over $20 million in anonymous Chinese funding of the Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement, established in 2018 and run by Blinken. The National Legal and Policy Center is demanding that University of Pennsylvania and Penn Biden Center disclose the identity of $22 million in anonymous Chinese donations since 2007. You got it? Biden sold us out with Clinton, with NAFTA, and bringing China into the World Trade Organization, and they pay him back. And you know what? 22 million. Wow. Chump change for the trillions and trillions that the Chinese have made. And that's what you do. You buy politicians off very cheaply because they never work a day in their life. They suck off the public tit, as did Biden. Biden, since 30 years old, never had a job. He's been playing politics. They buy you off cheaply because they don't know what it is to work. Said a minority leader. Now he's a minority leader. He's always been a minority. Look at the clown, McConnell. Mitch McConnell is proposing that the Senate give former President Donald Trump's legal team 2 weeks to prepare for the upcoming impeachment. I'm only mentioning this because it's over for Trump. All you Trump supporters, it's gone, dead, finished. This guy's going to be lawsuit after lawsuit. He has tons of debt. We detailed it in the Trends Journal. It's not going to be good for him. And he did it. The people that he pardoned, Well, you didn't pardon Assange or Snowden, but you pardoned some of the biggest criminals. One of the guys, one of these guys that was in jail for like 450 years, the biggest criminal around for defrauding people and he gave him let him out. A bunch of gangsters but anyway, the other thing, Trump rescinds rules on lobbying. Trump back in a while ago had did a thing where they once you left the government, you couldn't get a job for lobbying for 5 years. Just before he left office, he rescinded that. So now all the clowns that work for him can get back into the lobbying business. It's a revolving door. It's not even a revolving door. Big tech and corporations own America, like most countries. The move isn't without precedent. About a month before former President Bill Clinton left the White House, he struck down a similar 5-year ban on lobbying for his one-time aides and advisors. And then, finally, Israeli government approves new settlements, 2,600 new housing units in East Jerusalem. And Israel authorities have made last-minute push this week to advance construction in the occupied West Bank. And earlier this week, the Israeli government advanced plans for nearly 800 homes in the West Bank, more settlements. These aren't settlements. It's stolen land. I don't want all you people that go on here and, Celente, I like you, but you're anti-Semitic for saying this. Screw you. Call the United Nations and all of the others anti-Semitic for calling what Israel is doing a violation of international law. This is stolen land. I know. It says Moses came down with it and gave it to him. Save it. So anyway, that's where we're going. This thing's going down big. We're going to have the Biden bubble and the Biden bust. We're going to see tensions really ratcheting up between Israel and Iran in the Middle East. We're going to start seeing refugees. We're writing, this is only touching what we've been writing about in the Trends Journal. What's going on in Ethiopia and Sudan and Uganda. One after another. This thing's breaking loose big time. So if you want to see the future, subscribe to the Trends Journal. No magazine like it. No magazine in the world. This is Time Magazine in the 21st century. Time Magazine's last week's news next week. We're tomorrow's news today. History before it happens. People better prepare for what's going to happen. If you're watching any of the mainstream news, you're dead in your mind. It's gone. Like most of the world. We're heading for trouble like we've never seen before. Survivalism, a big trend. Health, fitness, and nutrition, big trend. We're going to have that in the Trends Journal as well. Gary Null, actually, is going to be writing. You have to get in the best shape you can, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You have to fight to be the best you can. You are your leader. Nobody else. Like dignitaries. What dignitaries? Who the hell are they talking about? You're the dignitary. Rise to the highest level. Be who you are. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news. The COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.